as you sit, make use of this opportunity to relinquish thinking, to let go of whatever thoughts our minds produce. That's the fun part. That's the satisfying part. That's the meaningful part. And it happens naturally. Whenever thoughts come up, at a certain point, they're gone. That's the part to attend to. A thought emerges, okay. That's the natural process of causality. But everything that arises passes away. And we're practicing letting go of that thought. It's right there. And we're simply letting go of it. We're not trying to get rid of it. We're just letting go of it. So that we're present at the moment it vanishes. We experience it passing away. And each next thought that arises is our next chance to do this. So, if you practiced it with a certain thought, you feel like, I could have done better. Well, good news. That indicates that the next thought has already arisen, and you can practice on that one. The arising of thoughts is not a problem in this technique. The question is staying with it while letting go of it so that you experience the end of it. That's all. You get to practice this on thought after thought. Now, if it is the case that there are absolutely no thoughts in your mind whatsoever, then very good. Simply abide in that. No need to produce a thought. Simply rest in that. That's your way of letting go of thoughts in that case. But if any thought of any kind, so perhaps you hear a sound, and then a subtle image in your mind arises of the thing making that sound, then that's a thought. Look at it. You may find that it vanishes. If you stayed with it while letting go of it, to the point that you were present at the moment of its vanishing, then that is the technique. At other times we may have auditory thoughts. We may find that words are heard in our heads. If so, just stay with it until it stops. Focus on it while letting go of it, as you experience it at the moment of its cessation. One useful thing you can do with words is, you know when a certain phrase will end. If a phrase passes through your mind, you now know when that phrase ends. And so you can just repeat it and know all I have to do is stay with it until these 5 words come to completion. And at that moment, I can experience the end of this thought. For example, you may hear the frogs outside. A thought may arise. Those are frogs. And you can repeat, those are frogs. Oh, there it is. That's the end of that thought. You can do it again. Those are frogs. End. Those are frogs. End. You can experience the end of that thought. Very good. This can be a very helpful technique, both in terms of working with the overwhelm of thoughts, which is very common, in fact pervasive in modern society, and also in terms of working with letting go and noticing exactly what it's like to let go, to experience the end of something, to experience losing something. Very good for us to examine this. For us, a lot of the time, that is an experience of suffering when we lose something. But as we do this technique, we can explore it and notice that it doesn't have to be an experience of suffering. It can be an experience of liberation, of freedom. And as we see that, we gain the ability to cultivate our minds. It's because we don't see that our minds are covered over by these shrouds. We think that that is our mind, that we don't know how to cultivate our minds. And it's because we see that our minds can be freed from all of this excessive thinking that we gain the ability to cultivate our minds. So this is a very powerful technique, both in terms of working with thinking directly and also in terms of practicing letting go, noticing how that can be a source of happiness. A general, a pervasive source of happiness.